Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Huber begins now.
Tougher border biosecurity is set to land at all major entries into Tasmania in an effort to protect our agricultural sector from pests and diseases. It comes as our state prepares for thousands of extra visitors as an international airline gets set to call in to Hobart again.
Toby plays a vital role in keeping Tasmania safe, and soon he'll be working alongside more new recruits.
Certainly, we've currently got 10 dogs within the state. We're looking at expanding that fleet.
It's part of a $13 million biosecurity boost, with additional inspectors at Hobart and Launceston airports, as well as Devonport.
The agricultural community and sector is the backbone of our economy and our way of life.
It also includes awareness campaigns about how to minimise the impact of dangers like varroa mite, fruit fly and avian influenza.
Things like that can absolutely destroy our bee sector, and we want to keep as many disease incursions and weeds away from Tasmania as possible.
It really is an important thing to make sure that we do stop it from entering rather than have to deal with them once they enter Tasmania.
And it couldn't come a moment too soon. Flights between Hobart and Auckland announced to resume at the end of next month, bringing an extra 24,000 international tourists over the summer months.
It's an amazing opportunity for small businesses right around the state, and obviously gives confidence to our tourism sector as well.
Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
The state opposition continues to criticise the Liberal government's budget, claiming figures have been fudged, creating black holes across forward estimates. Labor says up to $600 million is going to be lost in the health sector.
There are only two things that can happen. One is that they're going to savagely cut the health department, or when the budget is updated at the end of the year, they're going to blow the budget significantly.
What we're doing in the Tasmanian budget is investing in health, housing, cost of living, and of course keeping our children safe, and that's what we're focused on.
Budget estimates will be handed down this week. Meanwhile, the Greens are concerned the budget for the proposed Macquarie Point Stadium will blow out to at least $110 million before construction even gets underway, citing development applications submitted for assessment.
So far, we're at a $200 million funding shortfall to date, and that'll be just the beginning. And that's costs that the state, the people of Tasmania will have to carry.
The state government's commitment to the stadium is capped at $375 million. We're getting on with the job. It's such an important infrastructure investment to Tasmania.
The application was submitted on Wednesday through the Project of State Significant process. A Launceston mother forced into homelessness has shared her story in an attempt to shine a light on the issue and create lasting change. Those who find themselves homeless are being moved out of parks and public spaces by local government, which is calling for collaborative action to address the problem.
Tony has been living rough for the past 3 months.
I found myself becoming homeless as I put up a surety for a family member, and my life just then spiralled out of control and I lost my job.
Eager to escape the Launceston homelessness scene, Tony pitched her tent in a quiet reserve outside of the city, hoping for some peace and quiet.
And up here we feel safe, and there's access to facilities like that we need, like a toilet and sink.
But she was given a rude awakening when Meander Valley Council issued her with an eviction notice to move on. Tony says the council suggested she could move to a park in Deloraine, an invitation she's not keen to accept.
Just the travelling, and further away from their support services, yeah.
Launceston City Council recently gave marching orders to a group of homeless people camped at the Roundhouse in Inveresk. Strike It Out has been trying to assist those who are being moved from one camping spot to another.
Is it a crime? Is it becoming a crime to be homeless and being moved along, and no other options and no places to go? What is it coming to?
Neighbours living near the reserve where Tony has pitched a tent are compassionate about her plight. They believe all levels of government should be unified in resolving the issue of homelessness.
Instead of the governments and the politicians whinging and bitching and carrying on about to each other, why don't you just work together, and come up with some better plan to help the homeless?
There's a housing crisis in Tasmania. I'm not the only one. There's hundreds of us.
Meander Valley Council believes a collaborative effort involving state and federal governments is required to solve the issue. Melinda Ogden, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's best and budding prospects have brought all the action to the Karate Australia Open Championship. Held in northern Tasmania, the event saw more than 60 competitors bring the heat.
Suited up and raring to go. Pint-sized karate kids kicking their way through the Launceston Open Championship training camp.
There are 8 dojos from across 3 states competing here with 66 competitors.
A mix of newcomers and experienced competitors putting their best foot forward.
I've been doing karate since I was very little.
I love it. It's just really enjoyable.
For beginners, it's all about learning the basics, but for those with a little more experience under their belt, it's a chance to fine-tune their skills.
It consists of a number of events where you've got your kata and your kumite, and you've got your involvement of the younger kids to the more senior kids.
All while under the guidance of prominent referees and instructors, including World Karate Federation referee Dominic Scully. He's officiated karate at the highest level for several years.
A number of years, over 20 years through the refereeing department.
His experience helping pave the way in finding Tasmania's next crop of young officials.
It's growing. We've got numbers increasing in participation.
Rebecca Gaidaneris, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's first ever pole dance championships drew a full house in Launceston today. In recent years, the state's pole dancing community has been growing, with performers appreciating its health benefits.
Once the bastion of male conservatism, the Masonic Hall in Launceston was today the scene of female gaiety. The Pole Dance Tasmanian Championships were taking place to an appreciative audience in the hall. More than 20 women showing their creative talents as they competed for the title. Among them, pole dance instructor Beck Collins, whose pole persona is BB Sparkle.
Some of the pole dances are more acrobatic, some are more dancey, some are more comedic and storytelling, some are more flexy. So this competition's open up to whatever style they want to perform.
Pole dancing has become popular in recent years as a form of fitness.
I'd say in the last probably 20 years, it's grown every single year. It's becoming now a very much recognised form of fitness. It's become accepted and it's just a lot of fun. I think women especially are looking for something a little bit different.
The judges taking their task very seriously. It's hoped one day it will become an Olympic sport. Melinda Ogden, 7 Tasmania News.
The Diamondbacks have come away champions following a clean win in the Men's Premier League Hockey Grand Final. Canterbury unable to put a point on the board. The Diamondbacks ending the game 3-0 at the Tasmanian Hockey Centre in gloomy conditions. It was a similar result in the women's game, the Diamondbacks knocking University off the top of the ladder with a 3-1 win, thanks to goal scorers Felita Bridley, Emily Donovan and Sophie Krumink.
Good evening. 17 across Launceston and Devonport today, Hobart and Burnie 16. 19 was the state's top in Friendly Beaches, 15 across Flinders Island and Grove, and St Helens reaching 18 degrees. Low cloud covered the west of the state today, with high cloud seen streaming over the state from the southwest. Further out, thunderstorms are seen over the Kimberley and central parts of the WA coast. Tomorrow, a strong cold front moves over Tasmania with showers about the west and north. Northwesterly winds tomorrow 25 to 35 knots, reaching 50 knots in the south. Swells up to 7 metres in the west and south and up to 3 metres in the north. A storm force wind warning is current for the southeast coast and southwest coast, a gale warning from Low Rocky Point right around to Flinders Island, and a strong wind warning for remaining areas. A minor flood warning is also current as well for the River Derwent. Tomorrow's forecast now: Hobart, windy and partly cloudy, a shower or two and wind about Dover and Ouse. In the north, Launceston 17 with a morning shower or two, 16 in Devonport, showers easing in Scottsdale. Burnie tomorrow, windy with a possible shower, showers easing in Strawn, 15 in Stanley. Wind and partly cloudy conditions across St Helens and Ross, and Swansea reaching 19 degrees. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast now: Tuesday fine until showers develop statewide during the day. Wednesday showers contracting to the west and south in the afternoon, and Thursday showers about the west and south. Capital cities, 23 and sunny in Perth tomorrow. Melbourne 19 and partly cloudy, and 34 in Darwin. And currently Hobart 11 and cloudy, Launceston 12 and Devonport windy and 12 degrees. And there are warnings in place for damaging winds across the state, so batten down the hatches, Lou.
And that is all your news for this weekend. Thank you for joining us. Good night.